You needed any more proof that weather people are important, look no further than right here in Cape Breton, which is home to the internet's famous weatherman, Frankie MacDonald. Frankie lives with autism and through his viral weather forecast has shown how important a winning personality is to delivering the weather. And to prove it, I'm bringing him out here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie MacDonald.
Frankie?
Yeah.
Frankie MacDonald is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Give a call for Frankie MacDonald, everybody.
North America's favorite weather personality is right here beside Matt Wright.
Hello, Frankie. So, what is the weather like in a typical summer day in Cape Breton?
Average temperature, sometimes hot and humid, and a cool breeze coming from the beach waters.
As you told me today, it's your first time on national radio. Tell everyone who's listening your catchphrase.
Be prepared.
And Frankie, I have just one more question for you, and the question is, who do you forecast to win this debate? And if you take bribes, I have storm chips. So, Frankie, who do you forecast to win this debate?
Matt Wright.
Give a go for Frankie, everybody.
Frankie MacDonald in the house.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Good morning, radio listeners. Good evening to you, Frankie MacDonald, and to you, Brandon Houck, and to the Comedeorologists who are going to join us. I'm Joey Only. This is the Comedeorological Report. The people's biggest complaint about the Comedeorological Report is they don't know how to say the word cometeorology. So I'll help you with this. It's take the words meteorology, take the words comedy and meteorology, and just say meteorology, comedeorology, comedeorology. You got that? You're listening to us on CFUR 88.7 FM in Prince George, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And the weather is funny business. That's why we're talking about comedy and weather at the same time. How about you listeners out in CKUW land, Winnipeg, 95.9 FM. Good to have you on board as well. Welcome, weather nerds and weirdos alike, to the Comedeorological Report. One of our co-hosts, the infamous Frankie MacDonald, whose TikTok had 6 million views this week for his super tornado siren.
Frankie, the weatherman. Frankie, the weatherman. Who?
Frankie!
Who?
Frankie!
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie!
Frankie MacDonald, you're out in Sydney, Nova Scotia. How you doing this week?
I'm doing great so far. It's really hot out, so it's really warm outside in the evening in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now. All the cold air is going all the way down to western Mexico. Really cold air in Wales, British Columbia, Kamloops, Vancouver, Seattle, Portland. There's a lot of snow in British Columbia lately. And in Hudson Bay is really warm right now. And beaches in Mexico is getting colder because of climate change.
Yeah, it's been frigid here at night for sure. And we're expecting to come into some minus 12 evenings in Wells the start of next work week. Pretty cold. What's going on with this cold weather, Frankie?
Because the typhoon just hit Tokyo last week.
So it's making some oscillations in the jet stream?
Yeah, because of the storm that hit Tokyo, Japan.
That makes sense. So we are recording the show on Thursday the 7th. You'll be listening to us on Saturday the 9th. Or if you're in Winnipeg, that'll be on the 11th that you're going to hear us. So, we're reviewing weather stories in review. Maybe don't necessarily look forward to us being your forecast nonetheless. Frankie, what are some of the stories going on around the world, though, right now?
Right now, there's pretty a lot of warm temperatures all across the entire eastern United States, including Hudson Bay. Even the cattle, it's getting warm temperatures, too.
I've seen that West United States has been super warm, for sure. What about these Alabama?
Los Angeles is getting lots of rain tomorrow.
Los Angeles is getting rain. I heard that already a couple days ago. So this is unusual for them. Alabama is getting too much rain. What happened there?
Because of the big dip in the jet stream caused a lot of thunderstorms and tropical moisture. It's raining nonstop in Virginia, in the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas.
Well, it's flooding down in Texas.
Lots of big floods going on there.
Here comes the story of the
there is no hurricanes in the Atlantic right now.
There's one trying to develop
What's the story on that?
right now, and it's a strong enough level wind. It's trying to prevent tropical cyclone. And there's another one in the Pacific. It's going to develop off the west coast of the United States, west coast of Panama.
What about world weather, Frankie? What do you got for worldwide weather?
And the worldwide weather as of right now, since there's a lot of rain in southern Australia, there's a lot of rain in New Zealand right now as well, in the south of Australia. There's so much rain in Thailand, all across Philippines, and there's a lot of stormy weather going on in Nigeria, Ghana, Gabon, and all these places, Uganda, Congo, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and all these places. In Angola, they're bringing a lot of thunderstorms with a lot of rain, including west coast of Africa.
What's the warmest place right now on Earth?
Somewhere in Africa.
Okay, fair enough.
The Middle East.
So what kind of weather should Nova Scotians look forward to next week?
It's gonna bring warm weather there too, because of the big dip of the jet stream, east coast of the United States, west coast of the United States as well. Then it got cold air in Cape Breton, warm air in mainland. It's gonna bring hot air in Toronto, Ontario.
How hot?
Very hot air. Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton, and all these places.
Frankie, do you think you'll ever get tired of talking about the weather, or are you just gonna?
I'm doing a tornado sirens now. That was my own idea. I'm doing a tornado siren videos now.
Okay, guys, we're going to do a super tornado siren. I'm Frankie MacDonald.
Yeah,
I saw a super tornado siren video.
On TikTok, and I got 6.8 million views.
That's only a few.
6.8 million views.
You're hearing the voice of Peter Galanko in Virginia. I haven't introduced you yet, but we will get to you, Pete. I do need to
Sneaky
as the tradition goes. I always go over to Brandon Houck next because he's our meteorologist, our radio weatherman out in the prairies down in Brooks, Alberta. Brandon Houck, tell me about the stories last week and this week and next week going on in the prairies.
Hopefully I don't choke on popcorn here.
Oh boy, yes, in the prairies. Well, for extreme weather-wise, it's been very, very quiet. We've had some fires break out in northern Saskatchewan around Hudson Bay, and that's spewed some smoke, just I can't think of the word. Anyways, it's hanging around Saskatchewan, and then it moved into Alberta, and then the smoke moved into southern Alberta last night, and had a weird smell to it too. It's like definitely not like the smoke that came out of British Columbia. So not sure where it's what's been burning up there in Hudson Bay, but probably weed. I don't know. Anyways. So the wind shifted that smoke back into Saskatchewan today. So we had some nice clear skies, but it's been very warm as of late. This week we've had a lot of records get broken. Here in Brooks, actually, we broke a record on Tuesday, 28 degrees. Old records 27 back in about, 1958. So that was earlier this weekend. And we had some big time records, all-time records in Brand, Manitoba as well. 31 degrees this week as well. Estevan, Saskatchewan, you name it. So some very hot temperatures, quite unusual for this time of year. See a big stretch of heat in the southern prairies, and now we're starting to see that change as we go through the weekend into next week, allowing for actual fall temperatures, which some of us are probably not looking forward to, but it's going to happen. We'll probably get like Chinook conditions on Saturday, temperatures mid to high teens, and then we've got the next system moving in on Sunday. That could bring a little bit of snow to the foothills in the mountains. Maybe Calgary might get their first snowflakes of the season Sunday night into Monday morning. I think for Brooks, it'd probably be just rain. And then we'll also get some thunderstorms tomorrow in southern Manitoba around Winnipeg. So we'll get those thunderstorms. And then later next week, we got to watch another system for southern Manitoba. Could be a big rainmaker. And looks like we may see some significant rainfall totals. We'll have to look at those numbers probably later on next week. Could be big.
So for our Winnipeg listeners, that's the story to look forward to this week for you. So Brandon, Frankie mentioned we had tropical cyclone out off the coast of Japan. It made some oscillations on the jet stream. So we've had some extremely warm weather in parts of Canada, and now you're looking forward to seasonal. Here in British Columbia, we've had places west of Prince George seeing some of this snow, and north of here in the Caribou Mountains, we definitely got some of the snow. Some of the high mountain passes, a lot of the mountain tops, definitely Williston, the Peace, got some major snowfall a couple nights ago. And we're looking forward now to a cold snap after that, and not really any real break from it. Talk to me about British Columbia's sort of forecast to come.
Yeah, as we go into next week, we're going to be seeing some much colder conditions, and as we could be dealing with overnight lows, especially Monday into Tuesday. And I've seen some model hints here in the Rockies and Alberta, seeing overnight lows near -20. So that could be quite cold for the mountaintops at least, and even in the BC interior could be mountaintops. Our higher elevations will see some very cold temperatures lingering well into next week, and we could even see daytime highs in the minuses in the higher elevations in British Columbia. So this cold air is going to be locked into place, and there's no sign of any changeable weather pretty much until you get another Pacific wave.
And I got news from Microsoft. Windows 10 is ending the support is October 14th, 2025.
So for Prince George, Saturday, periods of rain, a high of 9, low of 1 overnight. Sunday, mix of sun and cloud, as well as Monday, 7, 0 nighttime low on Sunday, and -3 Monday night for you, Prince George. And then, so it's not that extremely cold for you, but you're at a much lower elevation here in Wells, we could be looking at -12 overnight low on Monday. So totally bogus. That's why I've been just pounding to get firewood in as much as I can, right? And certainly the cold weather, it might be a bit of a different story for Imogen down in the coast there, but she just came back from space. It's very cold in space. Talk to me about space, and talk to me about Victoria, Imogen.
Well, the highs are what you make of it. Just going to say. It's been pretty moderate, cloudy, damp, typical what you expect to the West Coast, especially on a tropical island. Really even, little bit of rain the last couple of days, little bit of rain scattered coming up the next few days. But all in all, a general unpleasantness. If you have arthritis, it sucks bad. But for the most part, it's actually really nice.
So for radio listeners, they can't see, but Imogen's wearing a spacesuit this weekend with NASA regalia on it. I'm wearing a NASA hat. And there's a spaceships, of course, floating above me in the studio. Totally unplanned. We also have in the studio Pete Galanko and Gabriel Berardo. I forgot to ask, does anybody have questions for Brandon Houck or Frankie about the weather?
There's a powerful low-pressure system that's going to turn into the weather bomb well off coast Newfoundland. That's going to bring high winds and heavy rain. It's going to bring extremely high winds in St. John's, Newfoundland, Friday and Saturday. It's going to bring wind-driven rain, sideways rain. It may not go power because leaves are still on trees in St. John's, Newfoundland. That's going to cause power outages in St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada.
When the leaves are on there, it gets a little bit of a sail for the wind to grab.
That's going to cause a whole lot of rain in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Talk to me about your spacesuit. Do you have a funny story?
Well, fun fact, I learned a weird thing about the anti-gravity effect on the molecules of a banana. So, banana, ordinary, very ripe, little soft. You take it into outer space, zero gravity for prolonged periods gives it this weird kind of effect where it changes property. This banana was a normal one, and now look at this. Look at this crap. I can't even peel it.
Spaghettification.
Wow.
Spaghettification.
Weirdest banana I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Anti-gravity is weird. So
that's what they call it when you get too close to the black hole and you get, once your feet start going faster towards the black hole than your head because of the extreme gravity.
You just get stretched out.
You become spaghettified. So don't go in the black hole. It's bad. Spaghettified.
Oh, yeah.
The hole is so intense, it actually bends and changes time as well as light. So when you have that change of gravity at such a rapid pace, then yeah, your feet are moving way faster than the top of than your upper half. As long as you're going feet first. I mean, if you're going butt first, that's just a mistake. Like the water slides, you don't go butt first, you go feet first.
Oh, there's a story about water slides this week. Yeah, some guys decided to break into the water park somewhere. I think it's somewhere in the U.S. And they blocked off the end of the slide. It was closed. It was down for repair. And the guy onto the water slide, and they went feet first and busted their ankles at the end of the water slide, and they had to call for help, rescue them from the water park that was closed.
How do you get hurt in a water park?
And they get a major snowstorm headed for Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Caspian, Wyoming on Tuesday. Starting off as rain, it's going to change over to snow because really cold temperatures headed towards Wyoming on Tuesday night.
Snowstorms already all over the world, Frankie, but
then they got really cold air. It's going to bring 20 to 30 below normal in Salt Lake City, Utah, Las Vegas, Nevada, Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Sacramento, and Wyoming, and all these places. It's going to bring a lot of snow in Caspian, Wyoming.
You were mentioning heavy rains and floods in the East Coast. Pete Galanko, you're down in there in South.
In Virginia.
You're in Virginia. I know, I just had a brain fart. It's the South Virginia. You're down there in Virginia. And have you been seeing some of this heavy rainfall?
No, not heavy rainfall. I went outside today. For a second, I was like, I thought I was seeing things because I was there's glass doors before getting to the back patio, and like under the thing, like where it's not covered. I was like, it was like almost not visible. It was drizzling outside, but it was like, it was like such a fine drizzle that you could only see it from certain angles. So I was like, is it actually drizzling or is it not drizzling? Because I couldn't see, like, didn't look like it was wet on the ground at all at first. Yeah, it was like on the verge of drizzle and fog. But then I walked outside, and sure enough, it was like the lightest drizzle I've ever experienced before. It actually felt pretty lovely. And then it started raining a little bit like normal, but it was a mystical drizzle. The weather's been pretty it's been cool with some hot weather down here and there, but we missed a lot of the heavy rains missed us, so we've it's been overall a lucky year for weather in Virginia Beach.
Has the trees begun to change color at all?
Not really, no. At least the ones around here. I don't know if I don't know about out the Blue Ridge Mountains and places like that. There's different type of trees over there.
Gabriel Berardo, in Southern Ontario, have the leaves begun to finally change?
Somewhat yes, somewhat no, but definitely more than from like the last show that we have did. So leaves have been, changing here for like the last week or so, but it's been a very warm kind of temperatures in like the 20s, like the lower like 20s, I think today. Matters on where exactly you are also, because some, of course, areas been sunny, some of them been cloudy. That could of course affect whether you're 18, 19, or 20, maybe actually closer to 21 or 22, where you are under the sun. But it's been pretty warm. We have some rain moving through Saturday, and then pretty though, of course, mild, like 20, like 1 or 20, like 2. Pretty, of course, warm weather. But I haven't really been looking at the forecast much, but it looks to be a really mild month, above the seasonal average for this month. not that much rain this month. Just like, yeah, but they're actually saying that we could actually have our first snowfall this month, but I have a hard time believing that because I'm looking in the 14-day forecast, and it could obviously always, change. But since it's just going to be a very mild month, I don't really think that our first snowfall will actually even be this month. I think next month, probably November. Been just pretty boring, I guess, with the weather. There's nothing that interesting. There was no big storms. It's just really kind of quiet like everywhere else, and everyone in the show I'm just joking, Joey, but
Everybody but me is having fairly decent weather. Imogen may be a bit of an exception.
Yeah.
It's been snowing in the mountains here in Wells, and I'm under the gun to get firewood in. So I mean, every day I've been kind of making the same sort of habit of it. You can, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude, you could see an episode for yourself. But it's firewood day. It's firewood day every day for like the next month. Heating with firewood may not be the most environmentally sound thing, but I'm a working class person. I got to do what I got to do to survive, keep my house warm, and live the kind of life I want to live, which is the country life. Figured if we do 2 loads a day for the next 2 a day. That's another road down there. Sometimes I get wood on. There's some big bear poop. And there's a hole in my tire. It's time for new tires, I think. All right, let's get this wood off. The problem with cutting big wood, like these rounders, is that when you roll them from up top the hill where I cut them, sometimes they roll over the bank and down the hill, thus defeating the purpose of having cut the friggin' rounder in the first place. Suddenly got pretty windy. These trees up above me are just swaying good, so good thing I got that one guy down when I did. Let me be able to fall than I can do today, but I gotta bring the kids back to their mom anyway, so. People tell me, why don't you burn birch? Or why don't you burn fir? Well, I mean, look at these forests. Do you see that kind of wood here? No, we got spruce, balsam, and pine, depending on what aspect of the mountain slope you're facing. On this one, there is no pine. It's just balsam and spruce, and this is pretty high elevation here. So you got to work with what you got to work with. Sometimes friends send me videos of some fancy axe developed in Sweden, and the video has a guy just popping through pop with his fresh axe. And yeah, I mean, you could do that with any axe if you know how to swing it. Really, the thing is with these spruce trees, the way they grow with a spin, sometimes even my hydraulic splitter struggles to get through them. So anybody who burns a lot of spruce knows it's not the best for heat. It doesn't last as long as the fir, I know, and it's really hard to split. Go up to the mountain and look for a tree that or two that are close together near a logging road somewhere that is easy to get. Find them, go and then fall them, and then buck them up, and then roll them down the hill towards where the truck is, and then throw them in the back of the truck, and then stack them in the truck so they're all nicely, so I can get almost a full cord back there. Then drive it a little bit home, and then throw it in the woodshed, and then split it with the splitter, and then stack it. That's a day's work. So
well, I mean, look, at least that there's sports, right? Joey, like the Leafs are back, the Raptors are back, man. I'm kind of ready like to watch like sports at this point, because there've been obviously nothing else on for like the last month. So at least there's sports, at least there's something, going on for you to watch. Are you kind of happy about that?
Yeah, the Blue Jays lost out. That was kind of a bummer. So, Frankie,
Stuff happens.
I want to ask you about the facts about Halloween.
Hey everybody, here's my facts about the Halloween night of 2021. And Halloween night's gonna be a good year this year. kids will be going trick-or-treating, but you have to be real careful out there this year. And kids will be dressing up as cartoon characters, superheroes, Dracula's vampires. They'll be dressing up as ghosts, goblins, Frankensteins. And they'll be dressing up as hockey players, baseball players, football players, basketball players. They'll be dressing up as CEOs of the companies and things like that. They'll be dressing up as doctors, lawyers, teachers. They'll be dressing up as professors and scientists and things like that. When the kids going trick-or-treating this year in the Halloween of 2021, you be very careful out there going trick-or-treating this year. There could be some bad kids out there smashing pumpkins and things like that. Watch out for that. Don't go outside trick-or-treating alone for kids. This Halloween coming up. If you see bad kids, don't go near bad kids. For anyone living all over the world, including Canada, United States, Toronto, Ontario, Vancouver, Halifax, Montreal, Calgary, Edmonton, Tokyo, Japan, Kyoto, Japan, New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, and London, UK, Moscow, Russia, Yakutsk, Magadan, Russia, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan, Argentina, Chile, South Africa, and South Pacific. You'll be real careful trick-or-treating this year. Be very, very careful going trick-or-treating this year for kids. Because watch out for bad kids doing really bad stuff like smashing pumpkins on the streets and things like that. Stay away from bad kids. Because there could be lots of bad kids out there. Here's my advice. If you see bad kids, don't go near bad kids on a Halloween night in 2021. You'll be very careful trick-or-treating this year. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. Facts about the Halloween is telling children to be really careful trick-or-treating. Don't go trick-or-treating alone for kids.
Can you give us some examples of facts of Halloween 2021? Yes, but for the radio listeners, could you give us some examples?
I urge everyone to be very careful and watch out for kids smashing pumpkins and things like that on the streets.
Okay, so Frankie, buddy, why are we watching out for the kids smashing pumpkins?
Because they can be bad.
Why, Frankie? Why could they be bad?
Kids.
They have nothing better to do.
Yeah, that's facts, right?
Okay, I want to point out that they're kids, and if you're threatened by an 8-year-old with a hammer, then you should have a bigger hammer or a bigger 8-year-old.
Don't smash my pumpkins, you 8-year-olds.
Okay, let's hold up. Joey, do people go like trick or treating where you're up in like the mountains? I'm just like asking if there's several like children there maybe that go around, or is it just mountains like flat forest?
There is a couple kids in Wells, and
oh wow, okay, interesting.
I usually forget that it's Halloween the week that I'm in town, and then I get back to here, and then a few days go by, and I'm like, oh, it's Halloween now, and I didn't get any candy when I'm in town, and I'm not going to drive 160 kilometers to get candy for the 10 kids in town that might come to my door. So I just turn all my lights off and pretend that I'm not home, or that I'm really creepy and scary, and that saves me all that money. I could have, but I want to make my house into a Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this place. It's crazy. I got animal heads on the walls. I got.
Oh yeah. It's old. It's like that old house in the movies that you just walk in and say, "Oh yeah," like those classic white families always in the horror films that go into this old type of house and say, "Oh yeah, you know what? Got it."
This is definitely a murder mansion type place. This
oh
old
yeah.
block. And I do have horror trinkets and every Halloween I make sure to like check every dollar store for what's the goriest or coolest thing that they have, and stock up on stuff like that, right? So I would like to make my house some sort of a Halloween spectacle without getting COVID. So maybe not this year, but it's a thing I've been thinking about for the last few years.
Ours is of course always stacked up with all these, as they of course said on like the last show, like the 6-foot like figures like Michael Myers screaming all these zombies that are like more than I think like 6 feet tall. It's kind of like scary, to be honest, having them just all like the same exact room. We also have like the witch, I think, like the which from the Wizard of Oz movie, that like that
Awesome.
moves, and it actually like its head like moves and it kind of talks and it looks a bit like realistic, like most of them do. But well, we're gonna of course put them up on the front porch to scare these little kids from stealing all my candy, because I want the whole entire box. They don't want the box. I want the box more than they do.
So with my place, like I have like this horror music really cranked, really loud, and like have all these like really extra scary things. Have it be super dark, and then have like strobe lights flashing at times, and then like weird noises as they walk through the house and scary things, and then they come around a corner, and then I murder you.
Level. That's a nice
So
level.
you could up the realness level.
Now this brings up the question, Imogen, what do you wear on Halloween? Because you're always in costume anyways.
Ooh, interesting.
True. When I really want to get a little spooky, when I want to get a little freaky with my wardrobe, I go with corduroy pants and a button-up blouse. And I just go by the name Jane.
Jane.
Rain.
This is the time of year that I get asked this a lot, but I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour of where I am right now, where I live. That is a piece of artwork. It's a recreation of a painting that was burned in the Reichstag. Oh, here we go.
Oh my God, you're just like stacked with them.
What is
man. You're
that
like a
thing?
huge movie fan.
Is that like Satan and a gargoyle
Something like
I
that.
think so.
and a skeleton? Satan gargoyle skeleton and another skull?
Yep,
That's
we've
a
got some
cool.
snake skins. These are those were shed by my pets, snakes that I used to have. Okay, let's come out this way a little bit. So on the ceiling we have a herd of bats that are all flying in the same direction towards the door. Yeah, so if you need to leave, you follow the bats.
Nice.
Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting.
Are those real?
Skeleton with Freddy Krueger's face. That guy's pretty big.
Creepy clown. I love the creepy clown.
Yeah. Juggalos, man. They're everywhere.
Uh,
Yeah, the skeleton. We've got some. So this guy, this is a hanging corpse. It's actually a bird feeder. Yeah, we can see he's got all these ribs visible. That's where you put the bird seed in this little area that's his pelvis bone. His pelvic bone, the pelvic cradle there.
The pelvic cradle.
There's giant spiders all over the place. There's a hanging bat skeleton.
I got the same one right over there.
That is awesome.
But I got the black one.
That's a mummified cat. So we have this mummified cat that just sits on top of a fish tank. We have a severed head on a hook. I don't know if you can see that real clear or not.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
Yeah.
severed head.
Yeah, I like his face. There's a mannequin.
I
for
like
no real
his
reason.
severed head.
that's a bit wow.
It's a mannequin just wearing a demon mask. The one thing that scares the crap out of people is the bathroom. Giant spiders all over the walls in the bathroom.
Man.
Yeah, headstones, like a cemetery sign. We've got little ghoul in the corner. Custom toy here. It was a giant plastic rat. And
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he has nails for whiskers.
Nails?
It's something I made called the coyote. Yeah, he's like
Hi, Joe.
He's
You're
a-
online.
a coyote and a deer antler, and like he's totally crazy looking. This is the cow yodalope, and I got lots of crazy shit in this house. You wouldn't believe it. Got 12,000 square foot mansion of geekery. Definitely much like you, when it's Halloween time, I go to the dollar store, and if there's say bats that look good,
Yep.
and they're like $1, I'll spend $10 on bats. I got those giant rats, a lot of them around, like right nearby, because I find if you put them on the counter, then the mice don't go on the counter.
Yeah, I've got like a whole storage locker. I've got like a big wood guillotine, a basket of severed heads around here somewhere. There's
Oh,
a
I
lot.
want it. Bring it to Wells for our legendary haunted house that's going to happen here someday. Speaking of big geekish things,
Joe
we got Joe
Stover,
Stover
right?
just showed up.
Oh, yeah.
Hello,
What's the timing on that? Where are you, Joe Stover?
I am in Winnipeg
Winnipeg.
after a very lovely but rainy drive in southwestern Ontario for the last couple weeks.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
tell us all about it.
So it was lots of fun. It was it was my first time traveling 17 and by myself in like 15 years. So it was nice to have that beautiful Northern Ontario drive, and for the most part, it was raining and drizzling, and pretty
Oh
much
yeah, man. I
pretty
know.
much didn't let up until I got to Toronto, and then it was nice for a week or so, and then
And
as
then
soon as
rain again.
rain. Actually, I was driving from Hamilton to Thunder Bay doing it one shot last week. I had to stop short because the weather got too bad on the road. The fog was super thick, and I thought I better find a place to stay. So I stayed in Marathon, Ontario, kind of right in between Thunder Bay and Sault Ste. Marie. So, but yeah, it was lovely. I didn't see any active weather along the way. I didn't see any lightning, anything like that, unfortunately. But it was a really nice trip.
What kind of? I know I've stayed in a hotel in Marathon. I'm sure it was a roadside motel.
It was.
It was probably the same one. You probably stayed in the same bed I slept in before.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I had my black light with me, and I was like, "Well, I'm not sleeping anywhere else tonight, and ignorance is bliss." So I just kept the black light in my pocket and just decided that it was probably clean.
So what's that on your throat? Did you get a tracheotomy?
Oh no, this is a biopsy. Actually, they're just checking something out to make sure that my skin's okay.
Skin's okay.
There was something a little mole that they didn't like, and so they're just doing a little bit of checking.
There is a strange little freaky piece of anatomy science here. If you have there's an arc that goes along from your shoulder, approximately your shoulder, the joint of your shoulder, to just under your ribs. It's a semicircle arc going down the upper part of your body on both sides. And in that arc, there are hidden milk ducts. Men and women both have them. For the most part, they're underdeveloped. There's little tiny, it's a genetic oddity kind of thing.
Milk duds?
Yes. Well, a milk duct, like a
duct. I thought you said milk dud.
Yeah.
Like
that would be way
milk
tastier.
duds.
That'd
Hey
be way
everyone,
cooler
I
than
got
one
something to tell you.
Yep.
When Microsoft is pulling the plug for Windows 10 on October 14th, 2025, Windows 11 just released this week. Windows 10 will no longer be supported by Microsoft anymore as of October 14th, year 2025. That's 5 years.
Oh my God.
5 years to replace your PC with a Mac, everybody.
No matter what you buy, you're going to make, Jeff Bezos and Facebook guy richer and all these computer guys. Apple man, I'm sure he's pretty rich.
No, Apple man. No, Apple man.
There needs to be a new competition called windshields or something.
There was like this weird Apple joke that I know, like if Apple made a car would it have windows, something like that. It was kind of a stupid joke. I saw it and I was like, what the hell, bro? Okay. I mean, it's kind of good, but
I like it.
You're listening to the Comedeorological Report on CKUW 95.9 FM and CFUR in Prince George 88.7 FM. And we're talking to Joe Stover, who's just had a biopsy on his Adam's apple. And when are you heading back to the far north? When are you heading back to Churchill?
Possibly flying back next week, but I've landed myself, by the sounds of it, a little gig in the city here, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, possibly. So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted with a little bit more about that next week, perhaps.
Well, what could be better than refueling airplanes in Churchill?
You know what? Sometimes there's some things that are better. Like, when you're on call in the middle of January and it's minus 51 wind chill outside, and it's 4:00 in the morning and the phone rings and they say, we need somebody to fuel our plane. There are things better than that. It's true. It's true. But
how would you rate the biopsy experience there on the level of
it was
very
great.
not fun?
Well, the experience, yeah. They took really good care of me down there, and the second that they found something that they didn't like, they got a hold of me. They were very professional with me, and they had a plan of action straight away, and that's what they did. They took a little chunk out of me here, and basically they're just checking it to be sure. They're pretty sure that it's okay, that they got everything. I mean, I must run. I'll keep you abreast of when I'm in Churchill next. But either way, I will be here.
Take it easy, Joe Stover. Good to see you.
Yeah, you guys too. Cheers, everybody.
So speaking of the COVID, Brandon, what's been going on in your province?
Yeah, my province. As I magically disappear here. Yeah, it's been crazy. We just don't know what's going on, what's going to happen next. It's yeah, we just keep on going with everything, I guess.
So what I was saying about the milk line does tie into Joe's thing that he was doing there. So along the milk line, sometimes a mole, if a lady gets pregnant, sometimes some of those little defunct milk ducts can develop into a small breast. And it turns out there's a small number of cases where a woman finds she's actually got a third breast, and that mole is in fact an underdeveloped nipple. So if Joe's lucky,
Is there milk in it?
there can be small amounts. It's not exactly something that would be good for the baby.
Good Lord. So maybe
bury under the skin.
You're saying Joe is in danger of having a breast growing out of his neck?
Yes, I am. Joe
That's
might
terrible.
be the lucky man to have a boob on his neck.
That'd be quite the Halloween prank.
It would be impressive.
That'd be a shame if your
It would just be a bigger
next heat they just cut it
apple.
off.
So do people celebrate Halloween down in Virginia Beach, Pete?
Everywhere, man. It's all across the world.
This neighborhood that we moved to is sort of disconnected from the rest of the. It's not a lot of blocks of houses here, so we don't get too many trick or treaters here. But they're trick or treating and Halloween is a big thing, and there's some streets like 40 something street. There's a few blocks where they go all out, like everybody on the street has like crazy lights like all over their entire house and the lawn and everything, where every year, and it's like a local tradition to drive down those streets. Well, that's actually Christmas I'm thinking of, not the Halloween. But I think some of those do. Some of those same houses do it for Halloween also. But
After all that, man, it's just for Christmas.
well, some of them do. Some of the same houses that go all out for Halloween.
Yeah.
Go all out for Christmas as well. But pretty, they get it. They do. We do Halloween proper here.
Good.
What kind of things have you dressed up for Halloween, Frankie?
I do videos of me having the vampire teeth.
Ooh, okay.
Truly wild.
When you were a kid, what was your favorite costume?
Thank you, man.
I dressed up as a ghost and things like that. I dressed up as a vampire in the year 1999, 2000.
Pretty much only dressed up as a vampire when I was growing up. Pretty much every single year I trick-or-treated by the vampire.
Just always the vampire. Well, I guess, if you got something that works, stick with it, right? Just vampire for life. Gabriel Berardo, what kind of costumes have you worn for us? It's also Thanksgiving coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
I don't really care if it's a myth or not. I get to see my freaking family.
I don't know. It seems like such a bizarre holiday, Thanksgiving.
Well, I mean, look, the only thing that I am thankful for on that exact day is for my family coming over. I don't care about anything else. No, guys, I am joking. I obviously, of course, care about you guys, right? But like, after all this time, man, yeah. Well, look, I at least get to, of course, see some people, which I, of course, like to talk to people. And honestly, I've come to that, point where I don't really care who I actually speak to, because I haven't really spoken to that much people in like the last few months, maybe. Well, I obviously have, but I haven't saw my cousins in a while, and it will be a fun thing to just see, of course, people and speak to them again after so long. I mean, right?
I feel you.
I mean, just I don't really know if Joey really kind of, relates to this. He's always up at the mountains. I mean, sure he has family, but they're probably not from there, right, Joey?
Yeah, my family's the other side of the country. My
yeah.
two
Well,
kids. It's my weekend off of my two kids as well, so I'm actually going to be spending the weekend probably getting firewood.
yeah, don't worry. But hey, I mean, look, we always have FaceTime and messaging. FaceTime is obviously not the same though as seeing them in person, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I actually feel sorry for you that you live on the other side of the country. I mean, it just has to be like that, right? Sometimes you live,
It's not so
you
bad.
get to, yeah, I know. You get
You
like
should see-
used to it, I guess, right?
Should have seen the scenery I saw this week up on the mountain while firewooding. The beautiful
Yeah.
rolling hills, the bits of poplar, all yellow and oranges,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
in little pockets all through the evergreen forests and sunshine. And this is a beautiful place to be, and I don't regret it at all.
yeah, right. That must be fun. You also, of course, asked me what exactly was for the past, what I of course dressed up as, right? So first of all, a killer I think clown. So like, well, right, like I would just kind of killer
A clown that kills.
like it wasn't right, like like the past few like years how there've been all these sightings of these clowns chasing people. Well, yeah, I know I'm not like that, but there was actually, I think, once in 2015 or 2016, I think it was, I've actually dressed up as one, and I actually chased these, I think they were like in like their low kind of 20s maybe, or they were like 19, whatever, right? But I was kind of near this tree, and I kind of just ran, and they freaking ran, man. They were like, like scared,
Well, you were
even
a
though I'm
killer
like
clown.
oh yeah, but it's not like I have anything. I was like 5, like what am I, like 5, like 2, or they actually of course they actually of course said that you make you look like a lot kind of taller, because I chased them for a few seconds. I'm not gonna really go that far, so then I just kind of took off my mask, and I was like, oh yeah, man, it's only me.
I'm not
You don't gotta
really
worry
going
about.
to kill you.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna kill them. Yeah, don't worry. But just you could obviously just see how scared people actually were at that like time of clowns, right? Like they freaking ran, man. Like they ran as fast as they can. I was like, yo, wow. Okay, but that is all. Okay, well, look, it's obviously not all gone now, but it's kind of not really kind of happening because of COVID, but I guess that kind of fixed things, right? You don't have these clowns chasing after people. Instead, you have this COVID chasing after people now.
No,
Maybe
you
even
do.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, now the clowns are just getting together and waving signs, say they're against the masks and stuff like that. The clowns.
I heard.
Okay.
I heard that
I get it,
scientists going down to Antarctic research stations, they would have to wear masks when they go down to South Pole Station, McMurdo Station, all those research stations. Delta variant might even reach Antarctica again.
So this Halloween, wear your masks, scientists in Antarctica.
Mhm.
I haven't seen
yeah.
anybody wearing masks in like a month. Went out to eat to dinner today. No one wearing masks. It's like
Oh,
so
wow.
4 months ago here in Virginia Beach. It's like I don't see COVID signs or masks or any of that stuff. It's just vaccine cards at the airport is what it is now in Virginia.
Oh yeah. Right. I mean, haven't really been that much where I live. Southern
Oh, so
Ontario.
the land of opportunity, even if you're a virus.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess that like life is so like boring like now because there's nothing really big, happening in the world. Or right, like there is like there actually, of course, is always big like things happening, but there isn't really anything that catches my eye on anything like,
No, the Chinese
easy
were
to kind of talk
flying.
about.
The Chinese were flying fighter jets over Taiwan this week. Brandon Houck, what have you dressed up for as Halloween in the past?
Oh yeah, I want to.
Well,
We'll just
I had
divert away from this World War III reference I just made and go right back to
Well,
Halloween.
that wouldn't be surprising. They similar to Hong Kong. I think the mainland China people have. I didn't say that politically correctly. The mainland people living in China have considered Taiwan to be the Taiwan people living in Taiwan consider themselves to be independent, but the people living in China have long thought of Taiwan as like sort of like a province of China. It seems like a
So, going back to Brandon Houck, what kind of costumes would you wear if you were in Taiwan? I mean, have you worn in the past?
if I wore it in the past. I actually won a Halloween contest once for frizzing up my hair, making it go crazy, putting on a pair of glasses, putting on a white suit, and I was kind of like a scientist, and I won a Halloween contest just like that. They really liked what they saw. And I had some really creepy glasses too. But
Covered in blood? Like, were you a mad scientist or just?
pretty much mad, yeah, mad scientist. But I really like my voice. That's what I use Halloween for. Is always changing my voice.
Oh,
Give us an
yeah.
example.
Okay.
there
okay,
there
yeah,
better
makes
not be a World
I
War.
want to
III.
hear Brandon's.
Everybody's screwed if there's a World War III.
I want to hear Brandon's voice. Give us your Halloween voice.
Or, huh?
I ain't
Okay, I didn't hear it. Do it again.
about
Do it
the
again.
drones.
Do it again.
Well, you want to hear Igor, huh? Yeah, something like that. Or maybe something like that too.
Pennywise.
You know,
You got like that Penny like wise type of like laugh to you, I think. Little bit, I don't know. Could you actually do? I mean, yeah, like a little bit of the laugh, kind of. I could actually kind of hear it in you.
I can really lower my voice like that. I don't know.
Okay, maybe
That's high
Lady Mad
pitch
Scientist
the
and
human
Pennywise.
ear can hear.
Wow.
That's what I use the radio for. I just act like a fool day on Halloween. I don't even have to stop. I just have to talk to the mic. Use voice every time. Deeper, deeper.
Today's weather is. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's some crazy.
Wow.
I've done.
Well,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
well. We are nearing the end of our Comedeorological time. You've been listening to us on CFUR 88.7 FM, 95.9 FM in Winnipeg. We do have a little bit of time still.
So that leads to Frankie and his social media, right?
My Twitter's at Frankie McD. My Facebook is
You
Frankie
know.
MacDonald. And my Instagram is Frankie McD 1984. My TikTok is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My Clapper is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. My Snapchat is Frankie MACDON. And my Twitch is Frankie MacDonald 1984. And my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves.
What about your link tree?
My link tree is Frankie MacDonald.
Oh my God, that's a lot of social media and a lot of apps.
The link tree got it all on there, though.
A 6.1 magnitude earthquake at Macquarie Island, which is between, we would say, Antarctica and Australia. 5.5 in Myanmar. 5.2 in Houck, Philippines. Just recently. It was 11:46 UTC today. That's September the 7th, or October the 7th. South Sandwich Islands region, 5.5. 4.4, Guadeloupe, Beauséjour, Guadeloupe. So some, nothing too crazy. That's just all in the last hour. 5.9 west-southwest of Chiba, Japan. Brandon and I were talking about that before the show started. And 4.9 in Komodo, Indonesia. 4.3 magnitude in Canar, Ecuador. Nothing too crazy going on in the realm of earthquakes today. And this new one, Oklahoma, just reported. Anyways, yeah, so that's a little bit on today's daily look at the earthquakes. Frankie, what should you do if there's an earthquake?
Go underneath the tables, go underneath the chairs if you're indoors. When you're outdoors, don't go inside a building during an earthquake.
When's British Columbia going to get their earthquake?
Anytime soon, date unknown yet. We can't predict earthquakes. The earthquakes are too unpredictable.
You did predict an earthquake before, though, did you not?
I guessed it. In Japan back in February.
Any words for the abundant lady fans out there of yours, Frankie?
What?
You want to say hi to all the ladies out there listening?
Hi, all the ladies of the Comedeorological Report.
And I just want to say to all Frankie's lady fans, my name's Joey Only. I'm the host of the show. Hopefully, we do have sometime coming up in the next couple weeks. At some point, Jacqueline Whittle is going to come on from the Weather Network. So
yes, finally! I never got to meet her yet.
Look forward to having her come on the show. And keep tuning in and supporting us. You can always tune into the show video version, my Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. So please do that. And you can, of course, see all my other amazing, ridiculous things that I post on there, mostly about weather, mostly about wells, mostly about forest firefighting this summer and things like that. I think that brings us to about the end of the show. So Gabriel's yawning. It's getting late over in Ontario time. Of course, we record this at
it's kind of, but
and air it in the morning. And we're all over the place here. But we're Canada's favorite place to complain about the weather. We'll see you next week.
Frankie, the weatherman. Frankie, the weatherman. Who? Frankie. Who? Frankie. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie.
This is Frankie MacDonald, my old TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major snowstorm is headed towards Wyoming on Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. And storm is going to start off as rain. It's going to change over to snow in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Caspian, Wyoming. And storm will start off as rain, then it's going to change over to snow. That's going to cause temperature drops. That's going to cause dangerous and treacherous driving conditions. There'll be very slippery driving conditions. Since the roads are going to be really bad, there will be dangerous driving conditions since it's going to bring a lot of snow. And winds are going to be pretty strong in Caspian, Wyoming, and the rest of Wyoming, especially on highways in the state of Wyoming. I want everyone in Wyoming to be prepared because it's going to bring a lot of rain changing over to snow. There'll be a lot of snow in Wyoming, including Cheyenne, Wyoming, Caspian, Wyoming. And it's going to continue on to Wednesday, October 13th. It's going to bring a lot of rain, change it over to snow. The storm will start off as rain. It's going to change over to snow. There'll be dangerous and treacherous driving conditions. There'll be really dangerous driving conditions in the state of Wyoming. People in Wyoming, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, winter jackets ready, hats and gloves, scarf and ski pants is ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy a case of Pepsi, buy a case of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now. Make sure your Samsung Galaxy charge, Samsung Galaxy smartphone charge, Samsung Galaxy tablet charge, smartphone, cell phones, laptops, tablets charge. Have your 3G, 4G, 5G internet ready as well. When you drive a car, take your time, drive your car, slow down so you don't get into car accidents. When you go for a walk, be very careful walking as you don't slip and fall. Make sure if your furnace is ready and turn on your furnace to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea to keep warm. Have your extra blankets ready to keep warm as well. Make sure if your shovel, snow scoop, snow blower, snow plow, salt trucks ready as well. If you have anybody live in Wyoming, be prepared for a major snowstorm on Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a major snowstorm. Stay warm, be safe.